Hi, this is Kelly, and it is day 2 of my 100-day juice feast. And I have been giving a lot of thought to where I'm going from here, how I got here on day 2 again, what happened in Mexico. Did something, I apologize, I'm still not feeling well. Did something go wrong? Is there something I could have changed, or is there just an opportunity to learn so that I can do things differently in the future? Um, anyway, so I am 100% on board with doing a 100-day juice feast. I have been doing a lot of soul searching the last couple of days, and I've been digging deep. So this is going to be a deep post. Um, I've been watching a lot of other people's videos and thinking back on my experience with the 47 days that I had completed. And I realize that my attitude is not where it needs to be for long-term change. The entire time that I was juicing, I continued to feel sorry for myself that I had to juice. The day that mentally broke me in Mexico, I had concluded that I had two terrible choices, and that was it. That I could have the misery of juicing, or I could have the misery of breaking a juice fast improperly while on vacation. And I believed that those were the only two options that I had. And I felt really sorry for myself. And I couldn't believe that that was what my life was now, that I either am going to be miserable eating or I'm going to be miserable not eating, and those are my two choices. And looking back on that now with a little bit more clarity, because I'm not in the situation anymore, I recognize that that was my addiction at work. And when I made the decision to quit drinking 14 years ago, I believed the exact same two options were all I had. I had the misery of living without alcohol or the misery of living with alcohol. That was it. My life was going to be horrible no matter what, and I had to choose which level of horrible I wanted it to be. And I decided to try the horribleness of not drinking because I was about to be kicked out of my school, my PhD program, and all my financial resources were going to go with it. And I didn't see how I could continue to maintain employment the way that my alcoholism was progressing, and that would ultimately lead to being homeless. And at the time, that seemed scary enough to me to try the misery of no alcohol. But even then, I never really thought that I could ever be happy without drinking. And so it was kind of like this temporary thing where it's like I just need to get through my comprehensive exams and get my PhD, and then I can figure out like what to do about this whole alcohol thing. And fortunately, it was so important to me at the time that I was willing to do whatever it took. Every suggestion that was made to me, I tried it in order to get and stay sober, and it worked. And with that came the freedom from the obsession to drink, and ultimately happiness that I had in an alcohol-free life. So remembering that time has given me a lot of clarity on my trip and the 47 days of juicing. And I don't believe I was doing whatever it took to find freedom from my obsession with food. I wanted it to just come to me through continued juicing. Like in my mind, that's what everybody else was experiencing. Like they would just juice, and then every day they would do a video and be like, "Oh my God, I have all this energy. I'm like a different person." And I didn't feel that. I never enjoyed juicing. I never really appreciated any of the effects of it the way the other people seemed to. I continued to feel sorry for myself. I was cold. I was hungry. I craved whole food plant-based food. So what's wrong with that? Why can't I just eat whole food plant-based? I just I had started this 12-step group, a study group that's based on Buddhism and meditation, and I never meditated, never. And I never started the readings until like the night before we were supposed to meet. And I would spend one day every 2 weeks writing, on the exercises and doing what it recommended. But yet I wasn't experiencing any peace of mind, any freedom from obsession. I wanted what everyone else had without doing any of the work. I wanted to lose weight and heal my body, but without any struggle. I didn't want any cravings. I didn't want any hunger. Seems like nobody else did. I didn't want it either. I didn't want any sacrifice. I wanted emotional and spiritual change without doing any of the work. Same Kelly, just different trick I was trying this time around. And in addition to my unwillingness to actually take any actions, despite having convinced myself what I needed to do and that it would bring me some kind of relief, I still refused to do it. But in addition to that, I developed this bizarro insecurity surrounding my YouTube videos. I felt like my YouTube videos weren't interesting or funny. I've always had a reputation for being funny. And in my mind, that is what I bring to the table, particularly back when I was drinking, more so then. Before I quit drinking, I never saw myself as being someone like a good friend. I wasn't smart. I wasn't loyal, particularly. I wasn't a comforting person. I wasn't intellectually stimulating. I never introduced people to new ideas or culture or music. I was entertaining, period. And I always was afraid that I would have nothing to contribute to relationships if I quit drinking and wasn't funny anymore. But when I quit drinking, I still had these ridiculous things happen to me all the time. And when I would tell those stories, it entertained people. I mean, I'm a pretty good storyteller in general, but for some reason, nothing's been very funny about my juicing. Or maybe it's just the format of YouTube videos. Maybe I just need to be like interacting with people face to face, and you know how it is. You're with your friends, and then they say something, and then it makes you think of something, and then you all crack each other up, and you think you're really funny. That's it's different with this trying to think of things and share them on a video, and there's nobody really there. Or maybe it's just the seriousness of this battle for me. I don't know. But my initial goal for my videos was just to document my journey and to share my experience, strength, and hope with anybody who might struggle with the same things I struggle with. I didn't even really think about if anybody would actually watch them. I really did sort of look forward to looking back on it later when I got to the end of my journey and be able to go back over it and see where I was and where I was at each of the stages. And I didn't, I never planned for this to be something that, was going to be consumed by some large audience. But then I started to notice, like people's comments and responses or reactions to other videos. And that made me think about like what my contribution was. And I started noticing how many subscribers other people had compared to my videos. And when other vloggers started to drop off, I thought, oh, maybe people will start watching mine out of desperation because there just aren't enough out there to watch right now. But that didn't really happen either. Um, and I felt really insecure about myself and my decision to focus on food addiction. I felt like it was too serious. My videos were too long. And so nobody was appreciating them. And I didn't have big, like weight drops every week to draw people in or any funny stories to make people laugh. I didn't even have enthusiasm for juicing to inspire people to try it for themselves. I didn't have any great changes in my health or fitness or my energy levels to show that this way of life works. I had no genuine spiritual change to share, and I had basically lost my way. Or maybe I never found my way. Like maybe I never had a way, I thought I did. But I realize now that I didn't feel like I had anything genuine to share because I wasn't experiencing anything genuine. I wasn't doing what I needed most to achieve change. When I was starting to recover from alcoholism, my greatest contribution to the group was not my humor. It was my example. I did the work and I shared with others what that looked like. Sometimes it was funny, sometimes it was joyful, and sometimes it was sad and scary and painful, but it was never just sitting on my laurels waiting for change to find me. Someone commented on one of my videos here, like a couple weeks ago, that I needed to just keep going and I would find my tribe, or my tribe would find me. And I want to thank you for saying that, because I really needed to hear that. Um, I need to focus on and take action to achieve what I need, not to try to be what I think other people want to see. My desire to please and be liked is another lifelong struggle of mine. I think it comes from being the child of an alcoholic, a very volatile alcoholic. And I learned how to fly under the radar really early in life, or to try to smooth things over or be likable, um, whatever it takes to make other people happy so that I don't have to deal with their anger or their disappointment in me, or their emotions for that matter. Um, this is part of what I need to outgrow if I want to, live a full life and be in healthy relationships. And my 100-day juice fast is my transition out of food addiction and destructive ways of thinking and behaving. This is my battle, and I want to win it. And if that helps other people, then I will be grateful that I could be of service. But if not, I need this for myself. So, some of my short term goals, one of them is to actually do the meditation that I've already agreed to do. I committed to it when I formed my 12-step study group. The other is focusing on achieving gratitude in juicing, like no longer being satisfied with just counting the days and waiting for the miracle to happen. That's what I was doing before. I'd be like, oh, if I could just make it to 20 days. Oh, I made it to 20. Oh, maybe 30 will be better. Oh, if I was in the 40s, and and it just, the miracle was never going to just happen to me. I have to do the work. The reason that I'm doing this is partly because of a mental obsession with food, and the other is this like self-pity that I seem to carry around, and that makes me not appreciate, what I have, or makes me focus too much on what I don't have, what's hard. So day 100 is Memorial Day. Somehow that seems right to me. Like, I want to put to rest this obsession with food, this discontent with what is, the expectation that someone else or something outside of myself, is going to just give me relief without any effort on my part. I will mourn the loss of that delusion because it was very attractive. Um, Maybe I'll even have a funeral on day 100, and then move on with my life, free from the bondage of self. So if this helps you, I am grateful. If it doesn't, go find your tribe. Take the journey that you need to heal and grow. Don't just count off the days thinking that you'll miraculously be a different person at the end, because you won't be. You'll just repeat the cycle and be right back where you started. Use these days because they're going to pass either way. So if there's something that you've struggled with and you really want to work on, then use this time to do that. And when you're done, you'll have this achievement, whatever goal you've set for yourself. If you're doing a long-term juice fast or feast, you can have that satisfaction and that renewed faith in yourself, that you're trustworthy, and that you will follow through when you make a commitment. You'll have that going for you, but you can also work on some of these other issues so that you can just seamlessly transition into your life with your new healthy body to start experiencing your life with, and not still be struggling all the time with whatever demons that you're carrying around. Drop the rock. Drop the rock. Stop carrying it. So I'd like to close this post with what's called the third step prayer in Alcoholics Anonymous. Just quickly when you hear the word God, just envision either whatever God you already believe in, or possibly think of God as the universe or nature or the power of all of us as a group that are all struggling with the same battle and what we can bring to each other. It creates this strength that's bigger than all of us put together. So anyway, here it is. God, I offer myself to thee to build with me and to do with me as thou wilt. Relieve me of the bondage of self, that I may better do thy will. Take away my difficulties, that victory over them may bear witness to those I would help of thy power, thy love, and thy way of life. I wish inner peace for every single one of us. And I really hope that y'all keep coming back, because this time around, I'm going to work on this. See you tomorrow.